Hey everybody, Aromatics here. How you doing? Today I thought I would do something a little different. I thought I would maybe start some series on some top lists, like top 5 lists of different stuff. And I thought, what would be a good... I don't really want to start off with my top tobaccos because that's been done quite a bit, and I'll probably do that maybe mid-year or at the end of the year. So I thought, what would be a good top 5 list? And what I thought would be pretty interesting was top 5 blends that I like when I want to change something different. Most of the time we have our go-to blends, our everyday blends, or we have, if it's hot, you go for your Virginias a lot of times, or in the cooler weather, the Englishes. But there are just those times when you're like, you know what, I want something just really different. So you're looking at your cellar if you have, a deep cellar, which I do. And so I looked through some of my different blends, and I came up with five blends that, I have more than that, but 5 blends that I go to when I want something different. So these aren't in any particular order. I'll just grab one out of the bag here and we'll talk about it. So first, let's see, we've got Semois. This is a Vincent Manil's Pure Semois. Now, what this is it's a pure burley, but it's a special burley that's only grown in, I think it's Belgium, and I think the place is called Semois. And it's a place that just, there's something about it that the lands are the opposite of what we would normally use, like the soils, to grow tobacco. But somehow they found a way to grow it. And so this, tobacco is just a pure burley, and it comes dry as a bone. Let's have a quick look at it. Yeah, it's almost like a crimp cut ribbon. It just smells like wet soil. Hard to explain, but it's very pleasant, almost like a fresh cigar, soil, earthy, real earthy flavor, aroma, with not only aroma, but when you smoke it, it's got a nuttiness to it. Some people describe it as a cigar, maybe, but I get this part earth and very mineral. Sort of like, I'm trying to think, like limestone, but in a good way. It's hard to explain, but it's a very strong, very stout, tasty burley, but it's different. So when I'm in the mood for a burley that I really want to taste, and I'm in the mood for something different, Semois. I think it's highly rated too. A lot of people like it. A little bit different. It's sort of a different strain of burley. Okay, what else do I have here? We have Cornell & Deal's Crooner. Now, what makes this blend different? Typically, it's actually just a basic cube cut burley, but it's a quality. This is probably one of my favorite burleys, but I don't smoke it all the time because there's one thing that makes it so much different than everything else, and that is it has a component called deer tongue. And what deer tongue is it is a type of flower, type of herb, and many people describe it as vanilla or mint, and I can see that makes sense, but how I would explain it, wow, right away, is just like a flower. It smells like, when you it's got that sickly sweet. It's not, once again, sickly sweet sounds bad, and to me it usually is, but when you put it in a pipe, it's amazing. But very floral, but not like floral as in, actually the best way I would describe this, in my opinion, would be chamomile tea. It's got that kind of sweet, flowery smell. It's like a cube cut burley with chamomile. I actually made my own blend once using this. I added a little bit of mint, so it was like mint chamomile tea. But yes, so Crooner by Cornell & Deal. Now we've got Cornell & Deal's Small Batch San Sepolcro. Now what this is it's a Red Virginia. But I don't think many people know this, and I'm not 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure that the Red Virginias that are in this are those really rare Carolina Virginias that they were selling, that a lot of them, a couple batches went moldy. but it was very in high demand and a very limited strain of Red Virginias. So I think that's what the base is. But what makes this stand out is that they've added dark-fired florets from Italy, which, if you've ever seen those old Western movies where they're smoking those little cigars, those little cigarellos, those are made out of that real heavy, strong, dark-fired Kentucky. Sorry about the noise, folks. A dark Kentucky-fired tobacco, really strong. But when you add that to this Red Virginia, it complements it really well. You got a really nice, sweet, almost fruity taste, Virginia, tangy taste, and then on top of that you get this smoky. It's not your typical Kentucky-fired. It's like a cigar, Kentucky, smoky, and it's just a hint. But it's really good. But the nicotine is probably the most of anything for me. This stuff is killer. It's probably the most, more than the twists, more than anything. But very good when I'm in the mood for a nice stout, sweet smoke. And now, speaking of twists, what we have here is Gowth and Hogarth's Black Twist. Can we see it? Yes. Black Twist. This is like, they call it the dog turd. But actually, as dark as it is, it smells really nice. Sweet. Sweet and cigar-y. Now this stuff, why this stuff isn't, is just a once in a while smoke is the fact that it is strong. Everything about it is unique. It is strong. It is, I've reviewed it before. It basically tastes like diesel fuel. It's got that diesel fuel, low end, but then a little bit of a sweetness to it on top of that helps balance it out just a little bit. It's super cool on the palate, and since I like the occasional cigar, this kind of gives me a little bit of that feeling. So what more is there to say? It's a real stout tobacco that I like to have every once in a while when I want something different. Black Twist by Gowth Hogarth. And last but not least, number 5, we have Gowth and Hogarth's Ennerdale Flake. Now this, of course, is... Let me have a little whiff of it. Remind me. It's been a while. Okay. Right away, it's got that Lakeland. So if you haven't heard of a Lakeland or you don't know what Lakeland is, it's basically, some people call it soap. Smells like soap, perfume. For me, it reminds me of like an aftershave. Actually, and it's not that unusual for me as a pipe tobacco smell, because I used to go to a barber when I was a kid and he smoked a pipe. And I don't know what he smoked, but it smelled like in the barbershop like cologne or Barbasol or whatever they used. It had almost this exact smell. And with him smoking the pipe, when I first got this blend, that's what it reminded me of. So for some people that don't have my background, this would be fairly jarring, but for me it's almost like a natural pipe tobacco taste or smell to me. But it's unique. There's nothing else. There's nothing like a Lakeland smell if you've never had it before. And this would be your number one, like probably strongest Lakeland type of blend. Of course, so underneath that topping of perfume is just a nice sweet earthy tobacco. No bite. Man, that's basically how I can explain it. It's a nice, I think it's a Virginia Burley blend. But excellent, when I'm just in the mood for something else, and I want something sweeter because it's almost like an aromatic. So there you go. Those are one of my top 5 blends for when I'm in the mood for something completely different when it comes to smoking a pipe tobacco. So how about you guys? What are your, name some blends that you think are unusual but that you like when you want to change a pace. It'd be great if you just leave them down in the box below. Let us know. Hope you guys enjoyed my video, and we'll talk to you guys later. Aromatics, signing out.